I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the report from Tiger Mountain. We're going to get into Sydney Sweeney's jeans. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get in trouble for this. Stick around and listen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, straight into Sydney Sweeney's jeans. Where we'd all like to be, let's be honest. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard the story about, Sydney's jeans and her jeans. So you've got the jeans that you wear, and then you've also got her jeans. The fact that she's a white, beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed Aryan woman. So there you go. Obviously, her kind of promotion by American Eagle has upset a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen. And, it's all the blue-haired people, the obese blue-haired people who are most upset about this. And in a sense, she symbols the end of wokeness. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. You all saw those ads under Obama, and you saw them particularly under Joe Biden. Obese black women, and for Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein was known for having thin white women, and really handsome, emaciated men. You know what I mean? So I don't know what happened. I'd seen some of these ads when I travelled overseas and gone, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? And it's just, you see people, trans people and this and that, all the wokeness that, had been pushed through these ads. And, obviously you saw, a company like, I think it was Jaguar, they did this woke campaign with a whole bunch of people with funny blue hair wearing kind of like really bizarre kind of looking clothes. They look like something out of the Hunger Games. Apparently, Jaguar sales dropped by 95%, ladies and gentlemen. That I imagine it practically killed the car line unless they do something to get it back. So, and this has happened, over and over again. There's a famous thing with the beer that trans Dylan Mulvaney, Bud Light. The people who drank Bud Light were mostly right-wing rednecks, ladies and gentlemen, and they weren't exactly impressed by Dylan Mulvaney. So, and what's happened with American Eagle? You go onto their site, which I've done. When I saw it, I immediately went to American Eagle and liked it. I have no idea. I'd never really heard of the company, but I'll certainly recommend American Eagle to everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody, go get a pair of jeans. And at the moment, you can't. They're completely sold out. The stock has gone up by about 15% on the stock market. So it works. You know what I mean? And basically, it represents just a back to, traditional forms of advertising, which is a beautiful woman wearing a nice, stylish pair of jeans, and people want to buy it. And people of all races want to buy it. Believe me, when you go to like Asian countries, they all want to be white. They got white people everywhere in their advertising. You can't, obviously, when you're in Japan or you see Asian people, but and what are they doing? They're bleaching their skin so they can look more white. Even Chinese people do it in Hong Kong, and that they bleach their skin because they all want to be white. Everyone wants to be white. Michael Jackson wanted to be white, and I don't blame him. He bleached his own skin so he could be white. Look, people are jealous. It's just great being white. We all know that, but we don't want to laud that for people, ladies and gentlemen. We all know it's good. You know what I mean? But Sydney Sweeney, I don't know. She's great, and she's doing well in Hollywood, despite the fact that she's upsetting everybody. And now, people are creating false memes where she's wearing a like a black sun and kind of more white nationalist things, and people have put it's okay to be white. Obviously the far right is having a bit of fun. And look, guilty as charged, ladies and gentlemen. I've maybe shared one or two of those, and obviously they're not the official statements of Sydney Sweeney, but what the far right is like. We love a good meme. This is Pepe. I haven't seen one of Sydney Sweeney with Pepe, dating Pepe, but that's got to be coming, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I got to see Sydney Sweeney hanging out with Pepe. So there we go. I think it's all good fun. I think it's going to be great for American Eagle, and it represents a back to normality, and it's incredibly popular. I imagine African Americans are delighted with it. And I'm not saying, in our Western countries, I'm not saying you should never see people of different ethnicities. If they turn up every now and then, great. But within our countries, if it's a white European Christian country, we basically should be the people in advertising. And occasionally you see different other people, and that's great. Well, there it is. So that's all there is to it. And, her jeans, the issue of her jeans, she does have good jeans, and there's nothing wrong with that.